Hi, my name is Anna Grace Mitchell, and today I am going to be presenting my CD project for Intro to Literature. The drama that I chose to base my CD on is Medea, and I titled my CD cover, I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar. I did this mainly because I believe that if Medea were alive today and if she were a real person, this would be her motto. I also have some pictures of famous, powerful, influential women from history. And then I have the 5 songs listed that I chose. Each slide will have a different character and songs that I feel like represent them from the play. So the first slide that I have titled Medea versus Everyone, and I just do a little synopsis and then just put some of my thoughts in. I talk about how this drama is quite heartbreaking and devastating. And then I go into kind of this upcoming slides that you're going to see. I talk about how, yes, I think each character is dynamic and has their own personality, but I think a lot of each character's depth is really how Medea sees them. So when I go into each slide and the songs that I think describe the characters, it will be describing the characters, but I think in a way it will be almost describing how Medea sees the characters. So I talk a little bit about that, and then I also just at the end mentioned that one of the things that is crazy about this story is Medea is very evil, and yet there is a certain amount of sympathy that I feel for her, and I think that's just because it is so evident that everyone is against her, and I kind of feel bad for her in a way because she is so alone. So the first slide I have is obviously for Medea, and the song I picked for her is Dangerous Woman by Ariana Grande. The lyric that I highlighted is, something about you makes me feel like a dangerous woman. Something about you makes me want to do things that I shouldn't. And then I just talk about how if you looked up a definition of dangerous woman, I think you will find a picture of Medea. She was so evil, so crazy, so dangerous. But I also talk about how, just kind of how the song says, it was because of Jason, the things she did, her ex-husband, right? And who's to say Medea, I think she was crazy without him, and she could have done something wild even without the circumstances. But what this story is about specifically is how Jason wronged her and how she's getting her revenge. And I thought this song encapsulated it perfectly. So then the next slide I have is for the man of the hour, Jason. The song I picked for him is Picture to Burn by Taylor Swift, and this is where I kind of think the whole seeing the characters through Medea's point of view comes into play. The lyric is, state the obvious, I didn't get my perfect fantasy. I realize you loved yourself more than you could ever love me. And then I just talk about how I really hate Jason. He is the worst. I can't blame him for wanting to get out of a relationship with Medea, but his intentions weren't honorable. He was a manipulator and he was power hungry. So I just talk a little bit about that and how I think he seems like the guy who would trick a girl into falling in love with him, and then she would realize he didn't have good intentions. And then just for fun, I put at the end how I think that he is the kind of guy Taylor Swift would indeed write a song about. Okay, this next slide I have is one of my favorites. It's for King Creon. I chose the song The Cell Block Tango for him. It is from the musical Chicago, so it is obviously sung by the cast of Chicago. And I just think it's so perfect for his character. So the lyric I highlighted is, he had it comin', he only had himself to blame. If you'd have been there, if you'd have seen it, I bet you would have done the same. And then I just go on to talk about how we see in the story that King Creon goes to Medea and says, I'm going to banish you. And she says, oh, please, sir, let me just stay one more night. And out of the kindness of his heart, he says, okay. And then the next day, she kills several people, and her grand plan just kind of, comes to pass. And so I just think that first line, he had it coming, he only had himself to blame, is so perfect for King Creon. because we don't know. I mean, if he would have banished her right away, she might have killed him, cut his head off, and tried to kill anyone she saw after him. But that didn't happen, and we know that he chose to let her stay, and then she killed him and his daughter and her 2 children. So I really think it is partly his fault that the tragedy was so great. The next slide I have is for Glaus, aka the stepmom, the princess, Jason's new wife, whatever you want to call her. The song I pick is Better Than Revenge, another Taylor Swift song. Once again, this is so perfect for how I think Medea probably sees her. It says, "And I had it all, I had him right there where I wanted him. She came along, got him alone, and let's hear the applause. She took him faster than you could say sabotage." And then later in the song it says, "She should keep in mind, there is nothing I do better than revenge." And then I just talk a little bit about how, obviously, Medea was very vengeful. Her reputation preceded her, so I'm not sure why Glaus would accept the gift, why she thought that was a good idea, or what she thought Medea was trying to accomplish with that, but nevertheless she did. And, you know, well, it's kind of the same as King Creon. I think she had it coming because she knew that Medea was vengeful. And then the last slide I have is for the children. The song I picked is Poor Unfortunate Souls by Pat Carroll. It's from The Little Mermaid. The line is pretty self-explanatory. Poor unfortunate souls in pain and need, poor unfortunate souls so sad, so true. I don't think there's much to say about this. Obviously, these poor babies, I can't imagine a mother who would choose to kill her own children, but Medea thought it was the only way to get back at her husband. I mean, the twins, they couldn't do anything about being born to a mentally unstable mother, and so those poor unfortunate souls, poor babies. So yes, that is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening. It was very fun to do this project, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.